Looking for a build in 2K21 that can do absolutely everything, this is the build for you. I didn't know what to call this build. Usually I do my builds after names of players, but this one, it really is it covers too many areas that I didn't know what to call. I was thinking maybe calling it like the Michael Jordan build, because it's very similar to Michael Jordan, but we are going to be at the power forward position to keep in mind, right? But it is pretty close to Michael Jordan. And if you've seen 99 overall Michael Jordan, it's probably closest to him. So if you like Michael Jordan's playstyle, you're probably going to like this build as well. And it's very similar to him. It's very similar to, as well, people like younger Kawhi Leonard before he had amazing shooting ability, just while he was okay at that. But it is very similar to Kawhi Leonard as well. Jimmy Butler, a lot of good players out there. Jason Tatum as well, it will say shades of later on. But anyway, how to get into what I would think is one of the best builds, especially if you want to do everything. You want to go here and pick this pie chart, which is half red, half yellow. And that's the playmaking and defense. Now you can do whatever you want here. I'm going to maximize speed though. If you want more vertical, you can also do that. But speed's really important, and I think it makes this build OP. So we're going to actually start off with the shooting, and we're going to max out everything here. And then from there, we're going to take it down until we get to that sweet spot of 9. Right, so there we are, we've got it, we've taken out our post fade, and now we've got our sweet spot there, 62, which gives us 9 shooting badges, which is all we'll need. We're going to be a corner spot up shooter, so I'll show you that in the badge progress anyway. Now we'll go down to playmaking, we'll upgrade our playmaking here, and then there we go, we've got 19 of these, which is going to actually give us 4 Hall of Fame and then a gold. So we're just going to want to get rid of one of the post moves, like that. You could probably get rid of more of the ball handle, but we don't want to do that, and I'll show you why later. And the same thing with your passing, you want to keep that relatively the same. So we're going to leave that there at 19, a sweet spot of 72. Now we're going to go over here and max out our lateral quickness, max out our interior defense, and max out our defensive rebound. And already we've got 7 defensive badges. From here, you can choose between your block and offensive rebound, because they both give you the same amount of attributes, and they give you the same amount of badges. So I'm actually going to use block, because the chances of you getting offensive rebounds aren't as good as they are of you getting a block, right? So we're going to chuck that up. You could also chuck up steal, which is another option, but I'm not going to be doing that in this one, and I'm going to show you why. Because already steal at 43 is quite good, right? That's really good. You can get some steals like that. And getting it to 69, while it is better, and it is going to go up a little bit, it's not necessary. When you're guarding people, it can actually let you down from time to time. But we want to find that sweet spot here of the perimeter defense, which gives us 16, sorry. And there it is there. And we're going to get 56. And then we're left with 96 left for our finishing. And we're going to put all of that into our close shot, all of that into our driving layup, all of that into our driving dunk, and then the last bit into our standing dunk. So there, you can take this one off if you don't want, and you can chuck it in something else. You know, if you want a tad more perimeter defense, or if you want, you know, it's not going to make a big difference. Or look at that, 44 steal. Whoop-de-doo, just chuck it in there, you get 40 standing dunk, right? So then overall, you get a pretty well-rounded badge build. I actually didn't tally up how many this is in total, but if I quickly do it now, we've got 35 plus another 17, which is going to give us somewhere around 49 badges, which doesn't sound like a lot, right? If I've done that right. I might have done that wrong. I said, was it 35 plus 17? 52 then. I actually said the wrong thing. 52, which is all right. That's not like a walloping great amount. Like I've made ones with 68 badges. Check out the Kareem video if you want to see that, which is another OP build. But this one, we're looking to have the most versatile build as well, right? That can do literally everything, and this can. So here, we're going to have those 8 finishing, 9 shooting, 19 playmaking, and 16 defense or rebounding, which we have a combination of, which is pretty good. So now you can pick whatever shape you want. I'm going to go with build, because it's a literal beast of a build. We're going to drop down that height to 6'7", right? That It's going to make some dramatic changes to your build. You're going to see your driving layup increase. You're going to see your driving dunk increase. Your standing dunk's going to go down one. So if you wanted to, you know, put that into something else, I'd suggest, you know, you could always do that. But it's going to go back up again in a second, because now, after we do our weight here, which you want to go, first of all, you want to go all the way down, and then you want to find the sweet spot, which is, I think it's about here, 188. And the reason we go with 188 and not 187, as you can see the same speed, is you get that slight bit more interior defense, which is always handy to have, right? If you go any more, it takes a long time before you get interior defense and you lose out on a lot of speed. So you just want to go with 188 here. We also get 77 layup then. You don't want to shorten your wingspan, although it increases your shooting. It really just stuffs up everything. You want to max out that wingspan. There's no reason not to, right? Max it out. This is going to drop down your ball handle to 76, but at 99 overall, you're going to get +4 on this, right? So then you're going to have 80 ball handle. You're still going to be able to do your pro dribble moves. You're still going to be able to speed boost, because look at your speed. If we add 4 onto the speed, we're going to have 94 speed and 92 acceleration, which is absolutely ridiculous, right? We're going to be fast as can be. And we also have a 74 vertical to go along with that, which is a really good vertical actually, especially considering we're going to be primarily focusing on defensive rebounding. Then along with that, we have our 3-point shot, which is at 60, very similar to Michael Jordan's, right? We have a good free throw, we have a decent mid-range too, and if we add 4, because we should be adding 4 onto all of our attributes here. That's the idea. Is this supposed to be done and be a 99 overall build? So we're going to have a really, really, really good close shot, right? Our close shot is going to be 91. Driving layup's going to be 81. So your floaters are going to be insanely good. Then your driving dunk's going to be 85. So you can get all the contact dunk packages that you want. Your standing dunk goes up to a 42, which is quite nice, 46. So you can also have that in, you know, your repertoire when need be. Along with that, you're going to have some quite nice shooting. You're going to have some elite defense, particularly out on the perimeter. Now, while your perimeter defense is only at 67, look at that lateral quickness coming in at 83. That's better than most guards, mind you. So you're going to be faster than most guards are, and you're going to be locking them down. Not to mention that you can also lock down big men with this build. And look how crazy you can block people with that 74 rebounding. Hey, that's ridiculous, right? And then with that, again, you also have that 81 defensive rebound. So you could always swap that out to have offensive rebound instead. But I thought going with the block would help a little bit more. It all depends on what you want, really. And it doesn't make any difference at all, really. It makes literally no difference at all. So let's go on and pick our take, which I've done something wrong. I see what I've done wrong. Now, if you put in block, you could only have 2 options here, right? So I've just realized something, and this is my fault for not checking when I first made the build. But here we only have the option of slasher or playmaker. Now there's a simple fix to that, and we're going to go back here and we're going to take all of this off block and chuck it on rebound. So forget everything I just said before. Put it on rebound. Trust me, on this, that's what you want to do. Is chuck that on rebound. Follow all the steps the same. We're going to go back down to 188 here. There we are at 188. Then our wingspan, we want to chuck that at the max. And then we can get glass cleaning takeover, right? So not only are we getting these pro dribble moves, right? Some great passing, great shooting, right? Because we have the badges to back it up too. And with the shooting boost, you'll be making those. You'll be greening those. You can use the pro stick. You don't even need shooting boost and you'll still be greening those, right? Because you're going to have a big window. I won't show you today, but I've got footage where I've been, you know, making whites and stuff like that. So there you go. You're going to have a really, really good build here. Where look at that, you've got great driving dunk, you've got everything really good. Now, of course, you can decrease the speed and increase the vertical if you'd like as well. That's another option, but I haven't tested that. But then we can have Also, the best takeover in the game, glass cleaning take. And so you should get a post playmaker with shades of Jason Tatum, Kyle Anderson, and Tobias Harris. I believe this is a new shades of system. I think the game updated last night and changed it. So if yours isn't exactly that, you might want to go back and check your build, but it has changed a lot since I first did this on my stream the other day, so don't be worried. So now we're going to go into the badges, right? And this is really good because we get 2 golds and a silver here, which is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to do Pro Touch, Teardropper, and Giant Slayer. Now, for people who are going to play more aggressive, you know, Contact Finisher is always a good option. And so is Slithery Finisher. So that's another good option. Or something like that. Probably, I've seen people don't need gold Slithery Finisher. I've seen people like Agent 00 and that, and they've been using silver Slithery Finisher and they've been having a really good time. So if you're going to be more aggressive towards the rim with your layups, go with that. But especially for starting out, right? Because you're going to have good close shot and you're going to have a good layup, and it's going to put another emphasis on a different point of your game and give you a bit more range to finish. I'd suggest going with floaters and doing this because the taller defenders aren't going to block you very often using Giant Slayer. You're going to get it in a lot of the time because you've got this Teardrop and Pro Touch. That's just what I suggest though. You can do whatever, and if you're going to do something else, this is what I'd suggest, you know, is going Pro Touch, Slithery Finisher, Contact Finisher, because Contact Finisher, then you can get those contact dunks better. So that is something I actually forgot about just then, right? So this is probably actually what you'd want to do once you've got, you know, those contact dunks. But until then, you'd probably want to do the Teardroppers. But once you hit 99 overall, this is what you want to be going with, is this setup, so that you can get those nice contact dunks or finish with some good layups and floaters, you know, whatever you like to do. Pretty much layups, right? So you can have those good contact dunks and finish with the good layups. Otherwise, now moving on to our shooting, it's very simple. Catch and shoot, corner specialist, and hot zone hunter. Now, of course, you can always change these out. There are a lot of other good badges here. Flexible release, green machine, 2 good ones. But really, these are your 3 best badges to be using. There's no reason you shouldn't be using these 3. Catch and shoot is really good. It's going to boost your chances. Corner specialist is going to help you out a lot. And hot zone hunter. You can switch corner specialist to range extender, but you shouldn't really be shooting with this build a lot unless it's from the corner, in my opinion. It works really well from the corner, and people I've seen using this build and using it myself, it's best to just be a spot-up corner shooter. People aren't really going to go out on you, so you don't need Deadeye. But catch and shoot corner specialist, and hot zone hunter are the best. Okay, next up we have our 19 playmaking badges, and these can be Hall of Fame too. So first of all, Dimer. Floor Generals next. Quick First Step is also something you'd want. Now, once you get your pro dribble moves, you can chuck on handles for days if you'd like, right? Then from here, it's personally, I'd chuck on Flashy Passer. Now, why would I chuck on Flashy Passer? Is because this badge is super crazy, and when you get a Flashy Pass, it boosts not only your takeover meter, but the person that you pass it to's takeover meter when they score, right? And so, essentially, Flashy Passer can make you get your takeover in literally like 1 shot. So then, you can have your glass cleaning takeover literally like immediately. You could chuck on Unpluckable if you wanted. You can chuck on handles for days. It's really up to you from here. There's a lot of good badges to pick from, right? This is probably something like I would do there. I'll show it to you quickly. I kind of skimmed over it. Lob City Passer, another great option. But I've seen people who can, you know, throw lobs without Lob City Passer. It's really all up to you. Downhill even is a pretty OP option if you're doing 3s. All up to you though with that one. I'm not going to tell you what you should do because there are so many good options. Except make sure that you have on Dimer. Breakstay you won't really need, even though it's good. Dimer, Floor General, and Quick First Step are a must. From there, I'd also suggest Flashy Passer and be throwing lots of Flashy Passes to boost that takeover meter, and Lob City Passer. But really, it's up to you in the end, hey? Now we have 16 defensive badges here. First of all, we're going to start with Clamps. It's important because we are going to be, when you're defending with this build, you can't just sit in the paint like most other builds, right? Because you're not strong enough, and although you do have quite good interior defense and quite a good block rating if you went with that instead of the rebounding, right? And you have good vertical and stuff like that, it is still going to be difficult considering that people are going to be, I mean, some people in there will be, 6'7", some of them will be 6'8", some of them will be 6'9", and that's going to be fine, right? So a lot of people are actually going to be roughly your height in there, because at the moment the meta is, build speed and, downgrade on height. But say you do go up against a taller defender who's like 7 feet tall. I know I've been abusing people on my live streams with my 7'3" center, right? This is really good too, because then you can clamp people down on the perimeter and not even give them a chance to get close to being, not even give them a chance to being close to in the paint. You can also chuck on moving truck if that's another issue, right? But it really shouldn't be. So you just need clamps here. And that's going to be fine. But you can sit in the paint as well. But you can also come out of the paint because you have that great speed, right? And you can clamp them up. And especially if they're setting screens, then you can also double team and then quickly get back onto the big man before he gets the easy layup or dunk. Next one we have Intimidator. Essential. We all know what Intimidator does. It causes players to miss shots more often. That's a really good one there. Next up, Pick Dodger. I like this one because I like to double team, right? Actually, we'll not go to Pick Dodger yet because it's all personal preference, right? So if you're going to be playing more like a guard, you can pick Pick Dodger there. If you're going to be playing more like a big man, maybe you'd rather have Brick Wall or something. It's really up to you. There's a lot of good badges here that you can pick from, so whatever you choose should be good. But here is another must, I should say. Here's another must. These are your 3 musts. Clamps, Intimidator, Rebound Chaser, so that you can get those defensive rebounds. From here, here's what I'd suggest. Either get Pick Dodger. If you had Rim Protector, you can get Rim Protector. I don't think it's that great though. And Pick Dodger, great option. Brick Wall, great option. Or Box is another great option. Personally, what would I use? I'm not going to be boxing out too much, right? Or I'd either use Box, right? Brick Wall, or Pick Dodger. That's what I would be using. Personally, the way I like to play is I like to double team the guard and then quickly go back onto the big man and stop him from scoring. So Pick Dodger is very handy here. But if you're going to be sitting in the paint more, go with Box. Up to you there. I'm going to show it to you one more time. Also, Brick Wall is good for the offense, but you've got great offense yourself. That's what I'd go with, or that's what I'd go with. Up to you. Both are great options. Probably this is going to be a bit easier than Pick Dodger. So I'd actually probably, if it's my personal preference, I'm actually going to change my mind here quickly and say go with Box, because Box is going to help you out a lot more in getting rebounds, right? Especially those defensive ones. Then Pick Dodger is going to help you navigate screens. Because really, you shouldn't be having to navigate too many because you're just there supplying the double team, which is just going to be frustrating because then they have nowhere to go. You don't need to fight against the screens. So just go with Box here, okay? That's it. Take a quick look at that. Screenshot it if you need to. Whatever. We're good. Okay, so that's what your build's going to look like. They can play literally any position, the 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. So it is really, really, really good, this build, right? Only 52 badges, but hey, like all the 52 badges you can use them all really well. Such a versatile build. Here are the attributes. One last time. Look at that speed. Look at that strength, which is actually pretty good. The vertical is going to be actually really, really nice at nearly 80, which is insane as well. You got that insane speed, of course. Great finishing. Really, really good shooting. I don't want to say great shooting, but it is. If you can green, right? If you can green your shots, or if you can use the pro stick, this is great shooting, right? You've got great playmaking down here. Because you've got your pro dribble moves, you've got post moves even, so you can, go in and do some post moves, and you've got great pass accuracy there, and then you've got insanely good defense. So that is what I would consider, whoops, it went out, one of the best builds in the game. It's a 6'7" post playmaker with shades of Jason Tatum, Kyle Anderson, and Tobias Harris. There it is, one more time for all of you watching. I hope this helped you out. If you're using this build, let me know in the comment section down below, because I'd actually love to find more people using a post playmaker. They are so fun to use, post playmakers. I was using my Jokic post playmaker the other day, testing that out, and I made a video on that, so you can also go check that out. But that's enough of that. They are so fun to use. Hope this helps you out a ton. If you liked the video, please consider subscribing to the channel or leaving a like on the video, or even both, which is better. But especially subscribing would really help me out. Anyway, that is it. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you guys have a good day. Keep up the grind. Enjoy 2K, and I'll see you all later.